Welcome back to Stockland Stadium. That is the view from above, and I can tell you close up that there is not room for one more supporter in Stockland Stadium for this historic first night for the North Queensland Cowboys. They say the capacity of the ground is around the 22,000 mark. Well, we might well be over that figure once they do the final counting this evening, and basically it's been full for many, many hours heading into this match. And it'll be the Sydney Bulldogs first out onto Stockland Stadium. And Terry Lamb, he's been down this road before. First grade since 1980. The great survivor in rugby league is Terry Lamb. And these are the runners-up from the Winfield Cup of 1994. Their squad for tonight: John Timu, the former All Black. The wingers Brett Dallas and Halligan. The centres Ryan and McCracken. The halves Dimmick and Lamb. And a forward pack, a strong one: Britt, Ben Gillies, Mitch Newton, Robert Relf, Dean Pay and Jason Smith. Chris Anderson is, of course, the Bulldogs coach. But the crowd now rises for the entrance of the Cowboys. How they will be pumped up tonight. The first man out onto the ground was Laurie Spooner, Martin Bella, against his former club. It's as if they've won the grand final already, the Cowboys. This is their first upside. Gibson, Bouvang, Vowles, Morganson, Scarden, halves Ian Doonerman and Laurie Spooner. And their forward pack, some experience there: Bella, Skifalidi, Whittington, Singh, Russell and Galia. And their coach is Grant Bell. It is a big, big night for the Cowboys. They cheered every good set play from their reserve grade side earlier. They cheered even louder when the Bulldogs made a mistake. And to sing the national anthem on this first night for the Cowboys, the man who is self-proclaimed as their #1 supporter, Lee Kernaghan. But I don't think the crowd's going to give him a chance to sing the anthem.
For we are young and free, with gold and silver and wealth untold. How home is goodbye sea, our land of thousand nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australian fame in joyful strains, and let us sing advance Australian fame.
Lee Kernaghan, plenty of colour here at Stockland Stadium. Gary Belcher has sideline duties this evening.
Yes, Cowboys coach Grant Bell's major concern this week has been with settling the nerves of his young players, many of whom have very little first-grade experience in the Winfield Cup. On the field, his biggest worry is with ball control. If his players get carried away with the enormity of the occasion, they may just try to push passes, and they don't need that early in the game. Unfortunately, they've drawn a Bulldogs outfit who are determined to prove that they're worthy grand finalists once again in '95. Coach Chris Anderson has told his players to expect fireworks early. They should just hang in there, and their experience will get them home.
And it will be the Cowboys to get things underway. Tim Mander, the man in charge. The Sydney Bulldogs defending the northern end of Stockland Stadium. The Cowboys with the advantage of the breeze for the first 40. And we're underway. Lamb, the first touch. McCracken up to the 20. And they're in there like terriers, the Cowboys' defence. Doonerman, Skifalidi, and Bouvang with a first up tackle. This is Darren Britt. Martin Bella. Crunch over the top. Ben Gillies with the dummy half duties. This is Newton. Good offload to Dimmick. Trouble on the left with Timu. Then unloads to Halligan. Halligan is down the left flank and cleaned up in the tackle of Scarden. But the Bulldogs, the first chance they get to use the ball, they make good ground. Now back to the right-hand side. Some good front-on defence on Dimmick. The tackle was by Wayne Singh, but Mander has ruled a penalty inside the 10.
Yeah, very underrated player, Mitch Newton. been in grade for 4 or 5 years, gets his chance now. Played very well in the 2-ish challenge.
When the Sydney Bulldogs moved the ball wide, they found a couple of gaps out there wide in the North Queensland defence. It was a good ball. We saw this one from Newton. And then this is a really good one there from Jim Dimmick. He saw the space out there. Teamu did the right thing, gave Halligan the room to move. And Scarden pulled out. Halligan did well to stay in from touch. And Halligan, he could probably kick this with his eyes closed.
He's been the Winfield Cup's leading point scorer for the past 4 seasons, 270 points last year. He doesn't just kick goals either. He scored 12 tries in 94. A key man in their charge to the grand final. Will that be the case in 95? His first kick from 21 metres out, just off centre. And Halligan, as cool as you like, he gets the 2 points. The Bulldogs open proceedings. They lead the Cowboys by 2 points to 0. Back at Stockland Stadium, the Bulldogs come up with a drop ball before the second tackle. The Cowboys will go on the attack. The Bulldogs up by 2 points to 0. This is Duneman with a step off the left. And the Cowboys' first chance to use the ball. They'll go close to picking up a penalty there. Mandra allowed play to continue. Bella. It was a flat-footed Martin Bella on that occasion. Skifalidi through Spina. The ball spread wide. Standing in the tackle is Whittington. He's the groundsman here at Stockland Stadium. Skifalidi again, 30 metres out from the Bulldogs line. Spina has the duties as captain for their first night in the Winfield Cup. There's Duneman again. They spread it left, inside ball for Russell. Front on hit. The Bulldogs, Jim Dimmick stands his ground. Last tackle for the Cowboys. It's Ian Duneman again with a high ball. Pressure here. Matthew Ryan back at fullback takes it. And just looking for John Timu, who was up on the defensive line. Ryan back at fullback.
In actual fact, I think you might find that's the way Chris Anderson's got his back line, with Timu playing in the centres and Ryan back at fullback. Ryan, a very experienced fullback. And of course, he recovered late last year from that broken arm.
So a chance to work the ball away from their own 20. Dean Pay almost spinning out of one tackle. Whittington and Gailey are the tacklers. Again, it's Mitch Newton. 10 short of halfway as Lamb gets his hand on the ball. Across it went through Smith and Dimmick. Now Timu. Danger on the right, inside ball for McCracken. Vowles was slow to wrap up Timu and allowed play to continue. It's a ragged defensive line just at the moment for the Cowboys, and the Bulldogs with it on the last 30 out from the Cowboys line. Dimmick. This is Jason Smith with a short kick. It's covered up well by Skifalidi. The crowd loves that one.
The Cowboys' biggest problem at the moment is their gang tackling, 3 and 4 players going into the one tackle, which allows Terry Lamb to spread the ball. We've seen him spread it twice in that set of 6 tackles.
The ball is Adrian Vowles, one of the more experienced members in this Cowboys lineup. Of course, State of Origin football last year. Skifalidi with the ball on the outside to Singh. He gets over the 20. The head jarred back as Ben Gillies and Lamb made the tackle. And they're still just outside their own 20 and down by 2 points to 0. Ian Russell hits it up straight. He's the ball player in the pack. 5 tackles used up and they've made no more than 10 metres. Duneman with a fair kick on the last. Ryan takes it on the bounce. That's a better line from the Cowboys. He's gone high, Vowles.
He's gone.
And he's gone straight off. Adrian Vowles is off. Manda had the arm in the air within a second of the tackle.
Well, that's incredible. A massive blow there to the North Queensland Cowboys. How unfortunate, 5 minutes into the match, they've lost a player for the whole game.
Well, I don't know about that one, Paul. I thought that he slipped over Matthew Ryan as he tried to step inside Vowles. We'll probably see it again in a minute, but a hasty send-off straight away. I thought he fell into the tackle.
Well, here comes Vowles at top pace. Well, the first contact to me, looking at that, is the shoulder into the head.
Well, Andrew, he really leant into the tackle. When we have a look at it, I suppose we've got the good fortune to watch the video replays, but pretty hasty send off straight away.
Well, yeah, the first contact to me is with Vowles' chest, has more or less hit Ryan in the head. Anyway, Amanda's made his decision. I think a very hasty one and possibly the wrong one.
Well, it was an awkward-looking tackle, but I dare say the damage was certainly done after the initial impact of Vowles striking Ryan.
Well, there's certainly no swinging arm in it. It was more Vowles' shoulder that made contact with Ryan, so I don't know about that one.
Well, now they really are up against it. This is Mitch Newton with the ball, centre field. Ryan, in the meantime, went to the sideline. He's been replaced by Jason Williams on the field for the Bulldogs. As Lamb, left side of the field, they work. Dimmick, put down by Timu. Cowboys with it, 10 inside their own half. And now the penalty goes the way of the Cowboys. Manda, not the most popular man. In fact, I dare say the most unpopular man in the stadium right at the moment. There's the drop ball from Timu.
Yes, Jim Dimmick having a word to Timu there. A move that went wrong through Timu's bad handling as Eddie Munster takes one up. King Prawn himself, he's there, a big run.
I think Tim Mander will be getting too many blackjacks at the casino tonight, as this is Galia, 10 metres inside the Bulldogs' half. They're spread out deep on the left as it goes through Spina, then to Singh, shoulder charge over the top. Newton, Gillies was there also. They're not making a whole lot of ground, the Cowboys. Spina to Russell, he puts it down. Well, they can ill afford that when you're down to 12.
Well, their biggest problem is they are playing right on the advantage line. Dean Skiffeletti at hooker is picking the ball up and throwing it back. They should be playing right on that advantage line.
The Bulldogs here, plenty of cool heads in their side. They look to work the numbers now with that one-man advantage. Dean Pay, lovely tackle around the ankles from Galia. Comes back to the right side. They're short in numbers here. Smith to Lamb, then to McCracken. Dallas almost unmarked on the outside. They did well. Bouveng stayed out wide as Spina came up with a tackle. It's Relf. Lamb then on to Smith again. Short pass for Dimmick. The Cowboys read the play, and it is the last for the Bulldogs. 20 metres out from the Cowboys line. Back to the right through Lamb, then the long ball to McCracken. It goes over the shoulder of Dallas and into touch. Gary Belcher on the sideline, the Cowboys doing it tough.
Well, they are. They're going to be vulnerable. You see Laurie Spina there. He's having to defend out wide in the centres. Where they are going to be vulnerable for the rest of the game is in second line in defence. He's going to have to stay in the line.
It's the Cowboys back with it. You can see their goalposts. They're inside their 20 as Ian Russell. Skiffeletti will look to pinch 5 or 6 metres. That's what he does out of dummy half. Tackle there, Jason Smith. Spina. A nothing play, that one from the captain of the Cowboys. Now 30 metres out from their line. Durnaman kicking early on the tackle count. That is a good kick from the 5'8". Way over the head of Jason Williams. So Timu's in the centres for good, it would seem. Bouveng's the first man up there. It's a good chase from the Cowboys, but they haven't come up with a first up tackle. Now it's Russell. The Bulldogs with it, 28 out from their own line. This is Dallas. Oh, almost a high shot. It was Whittington. Whittington's come off the worst the wear there in back play. Andrew Whittington, the number 10. Short ball from Smith was a good one to Dimmick. Dimmick gets an even better ball to Timu. The crowd thought it was forward.
Yeah, that was forward.
Maybe it wasn't so good as Lamb. Now Dimmick again up over the 30. And eventually put down by Skiffeletti. 4 tackles used up. 25 metres out from the Cowboys line. Lamb. Then to Newton. This looks like try time. Jason Smith through the gap. Inside for the big prop. Mitch Newton has 4 points. And the Bulldogs lead by 6 points to 0.
Good stuff by the Sydney Bulldogs. They know where they're going to play this match. They've still got to take the metres right up the middle. They're driving them back, the North Queensland Cowboys, in defence. Here's this forward pass. I thought this pass here was forward, and I think I'm right in saying that. Wasn't pulled up by Mandy. He looked at it, waved it, play on. And this is a good ball there from Terry Lamb. Drew in 2 North Queensland defenders. A missed tackle there by Ian Russell. Under all sorts of pressure, the defence. They couldn't handle it. And big Mitch Newton gets over for the try.
And how good is it to see a player of Mitch Newton's sides catch and pass? Watch this, a beautiful cutout ball from Lamb. A cutout pass again, and too strong. Jason Smith inside. Mitch Newton back out like a good front rower should, right under the post.
That's where you scored on Blocky, didn't you?
11 in 11 seasons, Paul. Not many.
11 and 12, wasn't it?
Well, missed out a season.
Sorry, and Halligan has the chance to get this lead out to 8-0 right in front. It's 200 to 1 on to get it. Halligan, he doesn't hear the crowd, he gets the extra 2. The Bulldogs in the driver's seat, they lead the Cowboys 8 points to 0. Welcome back, Stockland Stadium, the venue for the 9 league team tonight. Also for the Bulldogs and the Cowboys. Bulldogs leading by 8 points to 0 as Darren Brick drops the ball. Quick turnover, it's Morganson for the Cowboys. They're down to 12 men. The early send-off for Adrian Vowles. If you're just joining us, a high tackle on Matthew Ryan. Replay suggests Vowles was a little unlucky to be dismissed. But Manda, it was one of the quickest send-offs you've ever seen. He had the arms straight in the air. The Skipperlidi through Spina, then to Duneman. Short pass for Bella. He needs to lead the way, then gets the pass back. The Cowboys, 12 metres out from the line. Good tackle from McCracken. Galia, put down by Wayne Singh. And penalty goes the way of the Cowboys. He played the advantage, Tim Manda, inside the 10, right in front of the Bulldog sticks. Well, I say down to 12 men, they go for the try.
Well, they say they want to get their first points in the history of their club in the Winfield Cup. And there's a nice move here. Damien Gibson actually ran onto the ball nicely. Martin Bella offloading, novelty night. And away goes Gibson through the gap, but McCracken pulled him down. And from the next play, the ball, Amanda ruling the Sydney Bulldogs are all offside.
And not a bad tactic there from the Cowboys to spread the ball wide to Martin Bella standing out there, running at Terry Lamb, able to get his pass over the top to his fullback Gibson. That was very dangerous for the Cowboys. A good set of play. Then the Bulldogs caught offside right under the post.
And this is Ian Duneman with a chance to go into the Cowboys history books. Interesting flags. Fatty, can you explain?
Swirling wind.
Duneman from right in front. 2 points, the first points for the Cowboys in the Winfield Cup. It's a long road back, but they're on the board. The Bulldogs up by 8 points to 2. Now Matthew Ryan's still off the field. Gary, what's the story?
Yes, I'm sure he's got an argument about whether Adrian Vowles connected or not. Matthew Ryan has a fractured cheekbone, badly depressed, and certainly won't be back tonight.
That is not good news for the Bulldogs. Interesting to note when Jason Williams came on for Matt Ryan that Jason is the player at fullback. Knock on from the kickoff. Manda allows play to continue. Scarden it is with the ball. He sells furniture in the main street of Townsville.
Manda was a long way away from this this ball. Now, it was a knock on, wasn't it?
Yeah, Paul, would nearly be a touch, his decision there to relate to Manda, but certainly was a knock on. And then to boot, he didn't play the football with his foot. So 2 mistakes straight away.
How's he going, Manda? Shocker.
Well, I like him a little more after those 2. Penalties 3-2 to the Cowboys. And with the ball, it's 10 metres inside their own half. This is Bella. Head down into the defence. Gillies and Newton are the tacklers. Bella striking out with a boot. Almost collected Newton right in the melon. Now up to halfway. The Cowboys trying to settle down into their game plan. Things went out the window, I guess, with a send-off of Vowles. As Ian Russell works it for another 8 metres. The tackle was by Ralph and Smith. Bella again getting involved. And he makes another 8 or 9. This is the best passage of play for the Cowboys. Making plenty of ground and with a chance on the right. As Russell comes back in, then to Doonerman. Overhead ball finds Morganson. Bone-jarring defence from Dimmick. The last tackle from the Cowboys, 25 metres out from the line. Spina, he kicks, it comes off the legs of Newton. Chance for the Cowboys. Spina diving take, and he's ruled the changeover.
Really, the Sydney Bulldogs didn't play the football after Spina kicked it. And I think on that occasion, he might have had the correct decision, Manda. His Spina comes up with a kick. No, that's hit Newton, bounced off him, play on, but no, tackle's nullified.
There's now a chance for the Bulldogs down the right side of the field. I tell you what, Steve, I've been impressed with Laurie Spina. The scrambling defence he's doing, and he's leading the way in attack.
Well, he's had to because of the send-off. Laurie Spooner, as we said earlier, has to play, as we see another mistake from the Bulldogs. And knock back, Manda says.
Still a chance as Jason Williams down the right flank. He calls his man inside, but he goes over the sideline. Dean Skipperlidi came across and forced him over the touchline.
Yeah, just talking about Laurie Spooner there just a minute ago. The thing that he hasn't played in the Winfield Cup for 4 years, the thing that he's got on his side is he's still got speed. He was a very speedy halfback when he played with the Roosters, and I think that's stood him in good stead for the Cowboys.
Incredible comeback. First grade debut back in 1983. There's Galia with a hit up. Of course, they've only got the 5-man scrum, as now the ball taken forward by Whittington. The tackler was Mitch Newton, just a few metres short of halfway. Comes back through Spina. He gets over halfway, Laurie Spina, with a little dart almost through the Bulldogs' defensive line. Skipperlidi unable to offload there to Bella. Trapped in possession by Ralph. Doonerman. Singh ran the decoy down the blind as it came back to Russell. That's 5 tackles up for the Cowboys. No holes in this Bulldogs' defensive line. Spina, this time looking to find touch on the western side of the ground. He does that effectively. A 30-metre gain from Laurie Spina gives his players a chance to take a breather as they make their way down for the scrum.
No holes in the Bulldogs' defence, but North Queensland doing very little to try and punch a hole there. They're really just hitting the ball up, one out. You know, they've got to start working with support and trying to take some pressure off the ball runner. But from what I've seen tonight so far, Grant Bell, he'd be disappointed in his players aren't supporting the ball carrier.
Steve, you mentioned in your opener about the heat, down to around about the 21-degree mark, but still very humid for the players. And I said it gave the Cowboys a chance to get a breather as they walked to that scrum, but there was no hurry either from the Bulldogs players.
Now, the thing with the Cowboys too, they've also got the big breeze behind them in the first half. They have to get some points onto the board. The big men leading the way, Martin Bella and Skiffoletti, the more experienced players for the Cowboys, but the Bulldogs, too many players who can offload the football, Mitch Newton in particular.
That's Mitch Newton playing the ball as Gillies on the outside to Darren Britt. Nice tackle there from Skiffoletti. Wrapping up the front rower. One of the grand final players from the Bulldogs last year, straight through the legs of Gillies. And now Ben Gillies goes into overdrive, over halfway, the hooker. It's the last tackle just inside Cowboys territory. The kick's a deep one, but Gibson, well positioned, loses the boot. Now let's see him run. Lamb is the first man there. He's got the boot stuck in the turf, Damien Gibson. This is Scarden. And a good 10-metre gain from the winger. He's a bit of a local hero, John Scarden. And another penalty goes the way of the Cowboys. Well, the count since the send-off of Vowles has most definitely been the way of the Cowboys. The quick tap from Spina. He makes another 10.
Well, I can't believe the Cowboys didn't go for touch with a big breeze behind them. They would have got well into Canterbury Bulldogs half. Now they have 2 tackles into their 6 and lucky to be on the halfway line.
Skiffoletti to Bella, leading the hit-ups for the Cowboys. Skiffoletti again. This is Doonerman. Nice inside ball. The defence read the play. Newton was there. So Jason Smith for the tackle on Singh. Duneman, Spina. Russell has to come back in field. He's the centre. The next man on his outside's 30 metres away.
Well, where are their centres as the last tackle, Skiffaletti?
That's off the boot of Robert Relf. Well, this can't be 6 to go. It's not. As Gibson got around the outside of Dimmick. Then the pass away. Scarden. Morganson. Back to Scarden. The Cowboys. One more pass. They have the try. Oh, they've won the grand final. Gibson has it. Give us a yodel, Fatty.
Oh, what a great try. Yeehaw! Away they go, the Cowboys. The crowd's gone berserk here at Stockland Stadium. They love it. And what a good try it was. The Sydney Bulldogs just ran out of troops. They've come from one side of the field to the other. Once again, unlucky there for the Sydney Bulldogs. The ricochet, and they're always caught short out there. And bad miss there by Jim Dimmick. Halligan had come in. He didn't need to. He should have stayed out in his wing. And from there, that's a great ball by Morganson. And a floater. And Gibson, the man on the spot, to put it over.
Oh, didn't Gibson do well to stay on his feet? He was a man that was involved, that picked up the loose ball. He fired a long pass out to Scarden and then backed up on the inside. Beautiful play there from Gibson on the inside. Morganson, and there he is again, backing up, stayed on his feet, involved in the play twice, and a good try there to Gibson.
Well, that's Bronco-like play from the Cowboys.
Well, considering, Andrew, the last two plays before they went to that right-hand side, they didn't have any players out there.
What about the reaction from the try scorer too? Damien Gibson, just 19 years of age. Spent the last couple of seasons with the Newcastle Knights. Was never anywhere near first grade there. He's here tonight, and he's come up with their first try. And now another youngster with a chance to level the scores at 8-all. It's Duneman from 20 out, 15 in from touch. Going towards the posts. The crowd tells the story. They're all locked up. 8-all, the Cowboys and the Bulldogs will take a break. Welcome back to Stockland Stadium. The Cowboys down to 12 men, down by 8 points to 0 at one stage. Now back at 8-all, and they're in possession 30 metres out from their own line. A high tackle from Jason Smith, and he's straight off. Smith off, high tackle on Singh. And Manda, well, I don't know whether it's a payback, but very quick to dismiss Jason Smith from the field.
Well, it's a send-off-a-thon here at Stockland Stadium tonight. This did look a bit worse than the other one. Here he comes now, Smith. Well, once again, got to look at where the first contact was. I really couldn't see it on that shot.
Yeah, I will say for Smith that Singh was stepping inside off his foot, but the tackle was high. I don't think there was any hint of a swinging arm, but Manda wasted no time. You're off.
He nearly threw his arm out that time trying to get it up.
It was a PB, 0.34 of a second. And Kangaroo Tourist from 1994, Jason Smith, walks slowly to the dressing room. Wayne Singh is still down. But I think the thing to note from the replay, Singh was in the crouch position almost as he went into the tackle. He certainly wasn't at his full height. He'd be 6 foot.
He was stepping off his left foot here. The step inside, Smith threw the arm out. I don't think it was a swinging arm in defence of Smith. It was certainly a high tackle, but I don't think it was sending off offence. I don't think the first one was either.
Mick Stone, the boss of the referees, apparently got all the referees together. They won't find touch, the Cowboys. Relf comes up with a ball, and Bouvang comes up with a tackle. Mick Stone said he wanted a harder line on high tackles. He thought a number of players were able to get away with indiscretions throughout the Tooheys challenge. Amanda's responded. Now a penalty to the Bulldogs against Laurie Spina. Well, who you tip now, Fatty? 8-all, 12-all.
Both sides are... The Bulldogs are playing some good football. They haven't had much possession in the last 5 or 10 minutes. It's been all Cowboys. I just think they need to settle down a bit.
Yeah, Paul, when the defence isn't so good, I think you can offload the football at any time, and that's a trap the Bulldogs are falling into at the moment. A fair few mistakes in the first half.
Well, that is just dead set ridiculous. Darren Doherty, he had 4 markers there. And he's tried to play the ball forward and scoot away. And there was no option there. Markers right in front of him.
Only just on the field, Darian Doherty. This is Martin Bella with a tap. Head down, went straight under the tackle of Darren Britt. You'll like that. Now the pass came away. I think that's Singh with the ball, so he's recovered quickly. Robert Relf made the tackle. Spina away to Russell. Now 32 metres out from the line is Spina. The Cowboys making good ground just at the moment, right up the centre of the ruck. Skifalidi 22 metres out from the line. Russell to Spina, then to Duneman. His man on the outside is Galia. Almost around McCracken inside, put down by Bouvang. The Cowboys settling down.
That was poor play there from Bouvang. Perfect ball, perfectly set up there from Galia. Turned him inside. Should have caught, nearly should have choked on that one. And that just takes the pressure right off the Sydney Bulldogs.
The crowd is loving this contest. 8 points all. 12 plays 12 out in the paddock. This is Jim Dimmick. 20 metres out from the line. Galia has dispensed with a headgear. I'm not surprised in these conditions as Williams. Some fancy footwork away from one. At 5 metres, Lamb to the left side of the field. And again, some good defence. Duneman, they're lifting now that tackle on Doherty. The Cowboys putting in the defensive work. Standing in the tackle that time was Dean Pay. He's 10 short of halfway. Now they spread out on the right-hand side as Britt, the overhead ball. Ralph threw a bit of a speculator on the bounce to Dallas. He tries to stand up Bouvang. And they eventually wrestle Dallas to the ground. It is the last for the Bulldogs. They might chance to run the ball here. On the left side, Dimmick. Away to Britt. Inside, the ball goes down and the Cowboys back with it. Well, the idea was right, but Britt was probably the man in the wrong place at the wrong time. Marty Bella gets another hitter. Skifalidi with a drop ball. He was trying to do things a little too quickly.
Yeah, trying with the one-handed pick-up there from Skifalidi. Pretty poor play the ball from Marty Bella, but he just tried to scoop it up and take off. They're using Skifalidi more so as a runner. You'll notice that Spina goes into dummy half a lot of the time. Skifalidi, a big, strong player. Very good mobility.
The Bulldogs with a scrum win. Dallas comes back in field. 38 metres out from the line. And again, the Bulldogs are well spread out on the left-hand side, and that's where the ball is headed as Ralph brought it back in field. Tackled there by Skifalidi. 30 metres out from the Cowboys line. 8-all the score as Pay to Britt. Then to Lamb. Dimmick back to Britt. Now it comes back to the right side as Williams. The defence came up quickly. Williams goes back in field. One man ran through, that was Ben Gillies. And Jason Williams takes the tackle on the 20. Interesting play from the Bulldogs. Again, it comes through Gillies to Britt. Into top pace, Pay. One more pass, Dimmick for the try line. He gets it down. Jim Dimmick, straight up the middle. The Bulldogs have their second try, and it's 12 points to 8.
And that was classic forward football. Some great play. Just watch him hit the advantage line. There it is, right on that line. Dean Pay came from behind Britt, and easy as you like. Dimmick backing up. Gibson had no hope of stopping Dimmick there.
Yeah, beautiful play there from Canterbury. Quick hands. Dean Pay came from behind. Morganson at fault here. He should have came in on Dimmick, and that would have stopped the try. Maybe he would have scored the next play, but classic football. Great hands from the Sydney Bulldogs.
Well, when you're down a forward, Fatty, Jim Dimmick, I mean, he just slots in to that extra forward role.
He can do anything. He's a great player, Jim Dimmick. Been with the Sydney Bulldogs now for a couple of years since coming in, Souths and Wests.
And Paul, that's the thing that the Sydney Bulldogs have got over other teams. Nearly to a man, all the players who've got the ability to stand and pass into tackles, and then you look at Lamb and Dimmick to back the football up.
Here's Halligan, the kicker you want in your dream team. Another 2 points for Daryl Halligan. 6 points for Halligan, 3 out of 3. And the Bulldogs leading by 14 points to 8. It's worth another look.
Just great angles run there by the Sydney Bulldogs. Britt's a very good player. Pay, magnificent kangaroo tour. It's very easy work for them, wasn't it? The North Queensland Cowboys are willing. They're hitting hard in defence. They're running hard. They just seem to lack a bit of skill.
10.5 minutes out from half-time. It was a very, very slow walk back to halfway. And the kickoff down to Lamb. And McCracken, he has the job of the hit-ups back from the kickoffs this evening. And he gets it back over the 20. The tackler that time was Ian Russell. It was Gillies. Pass away to Doherty, straight through the line. Hanging on desperately in defence was the 5'8 Duneman. Doherty was a good gain, 15 metres. It's Pay, then away to Ralph. Standing in the tackle back to Britt. He stands. Lamb again with the ball. Ducks under the tackle of Bella. Lamb has support. He's got the man on the outside, Doherty. Then comes back in support. What about Terry Lamb?
They'll score on the left.
The Bulldogs, Timu. They've got him turned round. They only have to catch to score. McCracken catches and reaches out for the try. 2 tries in 2 minutes to the Sydney Bulldogs. Mandel awards it. And all of a sudden that scoreline blows out for the Cowboys. The 18 points to 8, the Bulldogs.
You're nearly right, Block. They did score on the right, actually. there was space all over the
He
place.
could have scored anywhere.
But Terry Lamb, he summed the situation up, went under the tackle of Martin Bella. Darian Doherty didn't have the pace to go on with it. But Lamb backs up again, and then, I mean, a very ordinary defensive line. Just look at the Cowboys. They can't get back in time. Wherever they went, it was going to be a try. McCracken juggled, but in the end, he got there.
Yeah, tremendous play from Doherty. He made the bust a couple of tackles early, and then to be involved when Terry Lamb ducks under the tackle on the inside. Beautiful pass there from Timu. Great handling there from Jared McCracken, and the try scored there. Covered just a little bit too late from Gillier.
I like the look of this Darian Doherty. He played very well for the Bulldogs during the Tui's challenge, and he's shown that form again tonight. He hits the line very, very hard, and he keeps those legs pumping.
So a little tougher this kick for Daryl Halligan. You can see what's in front of him. He's taken it just beyond that 20-metre line. 3 from 3. Maybe he's looking to set some sort of record early in the season. As this one curling towards the posts. It was never going to miss. Halligan, 4 from 4. And even the Cowboys fans have to applaud that one. The Bulldogs leading by 20 points to 8. As we see the take again of McCracken. He had an unmarked Brett Dallas on the outside, and Gailey at just that split second too late. And on the line, of course, is a try. Bella, it's a little different this year as to last year, playing with one of the front runners. There's McCracken again from the kickoff. A tackle affected by George Bartlett, who's on in jumper number 27. This is Robert Ralph for the Bulldogs. Tackled there around the ankles. I think it's Shane Christensen who's on the field for the Cowboys. And jumper number 9 it is. And the Bulldogs 10 metres short of halfway is Gillies. Away to Pay. Nice short pass to Britt. That time the tackle is made by Russell. But the Bulldogs in a few tackles have worked their way back to halfway. Lamb kicking before the last. This time right for the corner. It's a beautifully weighted kick from Terry Lamb. Gibson's come up with the error. Damien Gibson, and Manda now rules the knock on.
Yes, he got the call there from the touch judge. He missed it. So it's a dropout now, so all sorts of things happening, unfortunately, against the North Queensland Cowboys. Good pressure put on him by Brett Dallas. Great chase.
Good ruling too. The knock-on was just inside the in-goal area.
Well, Gibson's biggest problem there was he took his eyes off the football just as it was at his feet. As Paul's pointed out, it was a great chase from Dallas, but he wasn't right on him. He should have baked that one up too.
They're paying for their errors at the moment. Dean Skiffalidi with that drop ball has led to 2 tries just a few minutes ago, and now Gibson with another. Will they be made to pay for this one? As Timu from that dropout. Crossfield and then straightens things up. John Timu, former All Black, 32 metres out from the Cowboys line. This ball away to Darren Britt. Running freely tonight, Darren Britt. Pass is knocked down. Cowboys have possession. Bella, not at full pace, but still makes another 5 or 6 metres for the Cowboys. It's Christensen, Russell. Cowboys happy to have possession again. Christensen, nice dart from the dummy half. Now 5 metres short of the halfway mark. Slow play the ball from the hooker. That pass comes away to George Bartlett, then on to Gibson. It's an elusive player, Damien Gibson. It's those feet moving. There's Christensen on halfway, a dummy half. Blindside play, again it's George Bartlett. The way the pass came to Russell, good tackle from Timu, ball and all. It's the last for the Cowboys. Spina again with a kick, looking for the line, it's come off John Timu. Puts all the Cowboys onside, but Lamb able to clean up. He is everywhere, Terry Lamb. We'll say that a few times throughout 1995. The Bulldogs trapped in possession 25 metres out from their own line as Jason Williams playing it. Doherty. The pace of the game just back a notch at the moment as Gillies from dummy half. Spun away from the tackle of Whittington. He's been fairly quiet, Andrew Whittington, since copping a knock early in the match. As Dean Pay. Then away, some good ball work here. It came across to McCracken. He brushed away from Galia. Galia is the man who came again. Christensen finishes him off and pushes him to ground. So last tackle for the Bulldogs. Slow play the ball. Pay, Lamb. The short kick from Lamb this time. Russell has it covered. Cowboys back with it. 8 metres inside their own half. Lamb, the tactician all the time, keeping the opposition guessing.
And the short kick is on, actually. I think Chris Anderson will spot that because Spina's playing in the line out in the centres in defence. And he'll obviously, well, you'd think he'd be telling Terry Lamb to put the short kick in, probably 3rd or 4th tackle, try and catch the North Queensland boys unawares. Martin Bella, I've got to say this about him, he's tried very hard tonight. He's taken the ball up many, many times. He leads the count for them with 11 hit-ups.
Yeah, it would be nice, Paul, if he had a hand. We know that his front row partner, Whittington, got injured there in the first 20 minutes. They've looked a lot sharper since Bartlett's come on. He gets back and runs onto the football very hard.
Whittington, that player, just 2 hit-ups for the night. As here goes Darren Britt.
And I'm sure the coach will be saying something at half-time. He should have had at least 10 up.
Still a chance for the Bulldogs, but the pass went astray. Halligan couldn't get a glove on it. This will be a scrum feed for the Cowboys, 30 metres out from their own line. Here's the pass again, Darren Britt. That pass was knocked down, but this is the one you've got to look for from Gillies. They got their hands on it. So Halligan's the player at fault on that occasion. The scrum 35 metres out from the Cowboys line. It's 5 on 5 in the scrum now. Cowboys down by 20 points to 8. Just 2.5 minutes out from half-time. The clock will stop. This player down, I think it's the 5'8 Doonerman, is it?
It is Doonerman. Gets a very hard tackle there. Good hit by Jim Dimmock. Timu comes over the top. And it's hard to see what happens in the tackle, but he's still down. He's looking at his ankle.
Yeah, we were just talking about Martin Bella there before. He does need a little bit of a hand from the Cowboys. Some pretty ordinary stats for the Cowboy forwards in the first half. Not many of them rolling their sleeves up and giving him a bit of a hand.
Well, Russell and Munster are doing their job.
Look at the left ankle here. Oh, Ian Doonerman. He's in an awful amount of pain. The ankle was twisted over sideways. I hope he's all right, but Ian Doonerman, I don't know whether we're going to see too much more of him. He's now onto his feet. Winfield Cup action continues on Nine's Wide World of Sports tomorrow. Sydney Football Stadium, our match of the day, Souths and Manly, 6:30 the replay. And then later on, 10:45 from the WACA ground in Perth, the Western Reds make their debut appearance in the Winfield Cup. And that will be against St George for our Perth viewers, a full replay from 5 o'clock. So the Cowboys, this time is back on. They're 10 metres short of the Bulldogs, rather from halfway. And it's Bella playing it, so another hit up. Comes through Spina. Some good defence front on. Robert Rilf. He's not the biggest man in the Bulldogs pack. Well, he just picked him up and dumped him. And is it Whittington who's none the worse for wear from that tackle?
Well, that was just a good, hard front-on tackle. I don't see anything wrong with that one. Great front-on hit there. He could be in a little bit of bother with the hands between the legs. But Robert Ralph. A good front-on hit there.
Fatty, what do you reckon?
Well, it's maybe something that the league will look at, this particular tackle. The touch judge has come in. Look a bit like brothers, don't they, those two blokes? It's not Whitting, I think it's Galia. Now, there's the original hit. No, I think that's okay.
That's okay. The only danger was if the hands between the legs had actually lifted Galia, but that was just a good, solid hit.
Certainly a delayed entry by the linesman to make that report.
But you think the crowd might have had something to do with that?
Got the big screen here. He had a chance to have a look at things. And the bottom line, this scrum to pack down. 35 metres out from the Cowboys line, and it is trouble with the Bulldogs in possession. There's Jason Williams. Straight into top pace to Timu. Almost around Morganson. Williams puts the inside ball down. The Cowboys come up with a ball through Whittington. Now it's Ian Russell.
They've played quite well, the Sydney Bulldogs, but Chris Anderson, like Wayne Bennett last night in the Auckland game, he'll be saying two words in the ball control. It's been abysmal.
Paul, just on Ian Russell, he's making the bulk of the hit-ups, as you said, along with Martin Bella, but they're just hit-ups straight off the ruck. He's a ball player. He needs to get a little bit wider for the Cowboys.
Was Russell playing it. Christensen, he's looked sharp. His entry to the match is Spina. Away to Bella. Bella for a moment slotted into 5'8". Gibson. The ball was knocked down, so the tackle count restarts for the Cowboys. It was almost a photo finish to get to the ball. Halligan almost was able to come up with it. Spina will play it just short of halfway. Away to Russell. Had a man on his outside and then just took on the defence, almost backed into the tackle of Darren Britt there. That man outside is Christensen with a switch of play. Spina dummied inside to Gibson. And that's pretty easy for the Bulldogs defence to contain. Spina hanging on to the ball as Christensen. Away to the right. The kick through. It's covered up. Jason Williams 15 out from his own line and then was able to evade two tacklers. The tackle completes the first 40 minutes of football at Stockland Stadium. Two send-offs in the first half. First, Adrian Vowles, the Cowboys centre. Second, the Bulldogs lock forward Jason Smith. And we go to the break. The end of the first 40 minutes, the Sydney Bulldogs leading by 20 points to 8. They have been the better side, but the Cowboys putting on a contest for this big crowd of over 22,000 at Stockland Stadium. Gary Belcher has been in the rooms at half-time. What's the message, Gary?
Well, for the Cowboys, Grant Bell is concerned, the floodgates could open up if they don't manage to slow Canterbury's play, the Bulldogs play the balls down a bit better. In attack, he reckons they need more support for Laurie Spina and Ian Russell having to do too much work around the middle of the ruck without support players. Chris Anderson reckons 12 on 12 has got to suit the Bulldogs a lot better. Don't give the Cowboys a sniff. Keep the attack around the middle of the ruck going with that short passing game, and the defence out wide should open up.
Second half is underway. The first hit up is for Lee Groves, replacement player, and Shane Christensen. He's been impressive since coming on for Skiffalidi in that first half. Made some good ground out of dummy half as Bella. His first hit up for the second half, and a good one. 3 tackles. They're already 5 metres shy of the halfway mark. Spina. This ball to Bartlett. He spun away from that tackle up to the halfway mark. George Bartlett, one of those players that seemingly been around forever. Parramatta and North Sydney, and now looking to find a first-grade berth with the Cowboys. 5 tackles up, 40 metres out from the Bulldogs line as Christensen. Away the pass went to Duneman. Nicely placed kick from the 5'8", but Williams has it covered up. And he too is leaving his mark on the match. Tackled that time by Laurie Spina, 25 out from the Bulldogs line. This is Dimmick. Has lifted the knee as he got into that tackle there of Willie Morganson. And Gillies. And the pass came. The Bulldogs 35 out from their own line. Way to start the second half, up by 12 points as Lamb. Pass went through, Pay to McCracken. That is good defence out wide from the Cowboys, getting the man to ground. Galia finished off that tackle, and McCracken just a little slow getting to his feet as Pay a short blind side. Doherty collected one over the top there from David Bouvang. It's the last tackle for the Doggies. Kick came from Ben Gillies. It's a 15-metre gain for the Sydney Bulldogs hooker.
Having a fine game too, Ben Gillies. He does a lot of great work around the rucks. He scoots out a dummy half and gets 5 or 10 metres every now and then. And his passing game's quite good. He's having a very strong game.
We've seen on that replay, well, David Bouvang had a devil of a time trying to get out of the way of that ball flying through off the boot of Ben Gillies. They get the scrum feed and they duly win it, the Cowboys. They need to score first in this second half to have any chance of remaining in the match, as the pass came away to Lee Groves. One of the bigger forwards in the Cowboys pack, now that he's on the park. Now away to Ian Russell. He takes it up to the line, but there's no one left or right of him if he is to unload the ball. Ian Russell. There's Bella. Good charge from Martin Bella. And then loses the ball. Was it raked away? Tim Mander didn't see it that way, and the Bulldogs have possession. 10 metres inside their own territory. Mistake from Martin Bella. Now the ball with Dean Pay. Pulled by Christensen. Back play, Ben Gillies has been a little ginger on the left ankle. And he hasn't been able to get into dummy half as Dimmick gets over halfway. Through the dummy, then got the pass to McCracken. And a penalty goes the way of the Cowboys.
Yes, McCracken passed the football off the ground. A nice little movement there by the Sydney Bulldogs with Liam and Dimmick involved. Now McCracken, he's tackled. And maybe he's claiming his elbow didn't touch the ground.
In any case, it's the Cowboys who are on the attack. That's good Bulldogs defence. Doherty and Ralph in there. The force grows back. Spina, Russell. With the line he goes, Ian Russell. His head down and backside up from Ian Russell tonight. The opening night for the Cowboys. As this pass finds Bartlett. Timu was the tackler. He was able to pass inside to Duneman. And he's forced back 35 metres out from the Bulldogs line, but still good play from the Cowboys, a little sharper. And George Bartlett's the man who's providing that difference. With it is Gibson. A little flat-footed, the fullback coming into the line.
The Cowboys do look a little bit better. Lee Grove adding that bit of size and starch into the forward pack just to help Martin Bella out. They need a little bit more size up front, the Cowboys.
Now on the last tackle, 25 metres out, Spina. They run the ball. Morganson. Short kick behind the line. Halligan had it covered all the way. Would have taken a freakish bounce to evade the Bulldogs winger. I think Morganson would like to have that kick over again. It's Jason Williams it is, up to the 20. And this time, timeout ruled by Tim Mander. And I think it's Duneman who's off to the blood bin. It is Ian Duneman.
Yeah, he's got a nasty cut around his right lug hole, and he's off for the stitches. Noel Solomon from the North Sydney reserve grader coming on.
Played well in reserve grade too, Paul. Solomon.
Turnover now for the Cowboys, right back. And now a penalty goes the way of the Cowboys. And the caution here, Dean Pay, the man being called out. And Tim Mander, a few words being exchanged between players. Pay giving as much as he received. Penalty right in front of the sticks, and they're going for that extra 2.
Well, 20 points to 8. I don't think I'd be going for the shot at goal. Would have been trying to get on with the football game. They are making a fair few metres as we see Dean Pay penalised for the second man in the tackle, trying to slow the Cowboys down a little bit, but it was a good act there from one of the Cowboys.
George Bartlett it is. It was a little cuff from Pay, but I think it hurt George Bartlett, but he soaked up the time.
He's got to be the most improved forward in the Winfield Cup in the last 12 months, Dean Pay. I know you've got a huge rep on him, Blocky.
Yeah, I like the way that he runs the football. He's not afraid to try and bust the tackle. He's got the ability to turn and offload to the support. It does help when you've got some great support players like Dimmick and Lamb in your side, but Dean Pay, outstanding kangaroo tour, and I'm sure that he'll go on with it this year.
New kicker Damien Gibson with Durnaman in the blood bin from right in front. He was the third choice kicker at the start of the night, but he still does the job. So it's back to a 10-point ball game. We'll take a break. The Bulldogs 20, the Cowboys 10. Coming to you from Stockland Stadium in Townsville. Stockland Stadium's on the outskirts of the city of Townsville as another charge comes from Martin Bella. He's the pin-up boy of the Cowboys this evening. Now away to George Bartlett. They're 15 metres inside their own half, the Cowboys. They need to follow up that 2 points with a 4-pointer. As Russell again.
Number 27, Simon Gillies.
5 metres short of halfway. Spina to Bella again. It's a two-man show on the forward, Russell and Bella.
There's just nothing doing out here. They haven't even put a run around on. As I said at half-time, Morganson hasn't even been involved in the football game. We've got to get the football out to him.
Well, Solomon, that was a very, very ordinary first-up kick, the left footer. And straight down the throat of the fullback. There's Brett Dallas away now. He's 10 inside his own half. The Bulldogs just looking to settle things down a little as pass came away on the outside. Simon Gillies on in 27. Repeating again, both teams down to 12 men. Vowles and Jason Smith, the players sent from the field. Drop ball from Robert Ralph, the Cowboys. Quick turnover inside the Bulldogs half. Let's see what they can do with it. Russell, he takes it up to the line, then finds a man inside. It's Gibson, the fullback. Wrapped up by Jim Dimmick. Where they started. There's Russell again. They're going to work the blind. It's Morganson. Morganson makes another 5 or 6, but never looked like breaking the tackle of Dimmick. As this pass came from Scarden. Juggling effort from Russell. And Britt makes the tackle. 25 out now from the Bulldogs line. This time they're spread out. It goes through Solomon. Solomon holds the ball up. The Cowboys standing in the tackle as Galia. And McCracken and Ralph for the tacklers. It is the last for the Cowboys. Solomon with a little left footer again. And some communication done at the back from the Bulldogs. Lamb left it for Jason Williams and they diffused the situation between them. This is Simon Gillies back to the 10-metre line. So a bit of pressure applied by the Cowboys, but then Solomon's kick wasn't quite what he would have hoped for. Certainly not the result. Putting the ball up this time is Doherty. He's outside the 20. Players down from both teams at the moment. Russell for the Cowboys. Darren Britt for the Bulldogs. It's the last tackle. The kick comes from Lamb. No winger at home. Gibson it is, getting across the park. And he's ruled
Penalty
against the Cowboys.
Yeah, it was a late tackle from Grove on Terry Lamb as he kicked through the football. Grove involved in that. It might have been a high shot.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Terry Lamb. He's back on his feet. There's the charge down. Was he committed to the tackle? Not so according.
He's pretty good at the academies, but Barbar.
There's Ian Russell with a bit of a hand problem for Ian Russell. Just getting that strapped.
Yeah, it looks like a split finger to me from up here.
Explain a split finger.
You see that, Paul?
What is a split finger?
But yes, Terry Lamb, I just feel as though the Sydney Bulldogs are playing in about second gear at the moment, and the North Queensland Cowboys are probably at their best. So the Bulldogs, they need to get some intensity back into their game. They're just it's run-of-the-mill stuff by them at the moment.
Well, Halligan with another kick. He's kicked. 4 from 4 for Darryl Halligan tonight. It's 20 metres out. 3 goals, 339. Give you every stat we possibly can. 21 metres out, 16 metres in from touch, plenty of boos from the crowd. Halligan takes little notice, and we're back out to 12 points. The Bulldogs 22, the Cowboys 10. Still the Bulldogs in control as we welcome you back. And Ian Russell is back on the playing field for the Cowboys. Now 5 fingers and 1 thumb after splitting one on his left hand. And under a bit of pressure, even though they're in possession. The Cowboys lifting in defence. As Lamb has tackled 10 metres out from the line.
Yeah, that's an inspirational run from the little skipper there. You look for your big men to run the football out of there. I think that Terry Lamb does know that they're a bit off their game. He's trying to inspire his forwards.
Now a good run comes from Ben Gillies. Dropped the hip into Shane Christensen as he made 5 metres. They're 25 out. They've used up 5 tackles over the Bulldogs. It's been a good defensive effort from the Cowboys in this set of 6. And a poor kick on the last from Dimmick. But the Cowboys can't come up with it, and it's play on as Dallas. Over halfway and around Gibson.
Oh, well done, Gibson. He pulled him down. It was curtains if he got around him.
As Lamb at top pace. Have you ever seen Terry Lamb run faster? 15 metres out from the line. The numbers are on the left side. Jason Williams screaming for the ball out the centres. A sloppy pass. Gillies has to stumble to his feet and then cops the tackle of Martin Bella 12 metres out. They keep it going left side. Straight through the gap as it Rell. 5 metres out from the line as tackled. Groves finished him off over the top. Bella does the work down below. Gillies. Now the pass came away to Dimmick. They just have to pass and score. Lamb, McCracken has 4 points. Terry Lamb saw the situation, sized it up, and the Bulldogs have their 4th try of the night, 26-10.
And the Bulldogs really asserted some authority there. Too classy, too big, too fast. And very simple player there's Terry Lamb. It's a smorgasbord out there. Who wants it? Jared McCracken gets over for his 2nd. Terry Lamb, he's made a run 10 metres out from his own line to inspire them. Then he burst onto the ball and he throws the final pass. Should be a great game.
Yeah, good play there from Canterbury. Robert Ralph made the strong incision straight in the middle of the goal post. That's where you've got to do. Try and drag the Cowboys in. It was just easy from there. Straight out to Dimmick. A good pass over the head. And then Lamb onto his winger to score the easiest of tries.
And Jared McCracken. Well, the Aussie players had the Kangaroo Tour. The New Zealanders had a short 2-test tour of Papua New Guinea. Won the 2 test matches. McCracken, one of the star players of that tour. He's been heavily involved tonight too, the centre, Jared McCracken. There's Halligan with another chance from wide out. This one basically a metre in from touch and 23 metres out. He hasn't missed one tonight. And again, Daryl Halligan putting on a show for the Cowboy fans.
Oh, boring.
28 points to 10.
This ball is actually touched by a Cowboy. Play on, signalled by Manda, and they couldn't clean it up. And Dallas, he beat one, but he couldn't get round Gibson. A very good tackle there by Damien Gibson to pull him down. But unfortunately for the Bulldogs, 4 tackles later, try time.
There's that hit up of Terry Lamb. And how tragic it was, because they defended so well in that set of 6, the Cowboys, but Galia wasn't able to get the kick, which had come off the side of the boot of Dimmick. There's McCracken with that hit up again from the kickoff, back up to the 20. And Gillies, a dummy half, was pleading for a penalty away to his brother Simon. The Bulldogs with it, 25 metres out from their own line, as this time Doherty. Charge from him.
A lot of the Bulldogs reserve players getting a run now. Doherty's had a lot of football in this game. Also Simon Gillies has come on as a replacement, so it's good that they're using the full complement of players.
Pass came away to Robert Ralph. Gary Belcher on the sideline.
Yes, Terry Lamb has earned an early mark after some great play so far. Craig Polamauta's now got his chance. He's on the field. Of course, keen to get back into first grade.
Polamautta with the left thigh very heavily bandaged as Dimick with a kick over the top. Dallas is screaming through on this ball. Brett Dallas, he got the toe to it and it just trickles over the sideline. Well, he's second only to Shane Werrett as the fastest man in the game. He showed it there.
Again, great speed showed by Dimick. Knew that Dallas had the speed, but have a look at young Gibson. Good play from him once more. Dallas could have nearly gathered that ball in with his right hand and scored the try for the Bulldogs. But that puts the pressure straight back on the Cowboys.
And Brett Dallas in a great season for the Bulldogs last year. He played little part in their first grade campaign, so looking to make up perhaps for a little bit of lost ground as Cowboys with the ball from the scrum. 15 out from their own line. Down on the scoreboard on their first night. This is Lee Groves with it, just short of the 20-metre line. Christensen away to Russell again. It's just straight up from Ian Russell. 3, 4 and 5 metre gains. Nothing more from Russell as Bella. He's been more effective. Offload, second time tonight. Gibson was the man in receipt of the pass. It's Christensen away to Bartlett. He got the arms over the top inside for Morganson. It's called back for forward.
Tragic.
We're right in line with this one.
The crowd blows up. It looked okay to me from here. Bartlett, he's been a fine acquisition for them. Some good play by him. Gets on the outside as man, the inside ball. Oh, it's gone half a metre back.
Yeah,
Turn it up.
I can't believe he's called that one back. And we got the first opportunity to see Morganson in a bit of space. He looked like he was going to go a long way there as we see Canterbury win the scrum feed.
Well, we were right in line with that, but so too was Tim Mander. He was only a matter of metres away from that pass from Bartlett. He called it forward. Dimick away. Bulldogs with it. 9 metres inside Cowboys territory. Doherty it was playing. Oh, that was a flat pass from McCracken, the dummy half to Newton. The Bulldogs just edging forward now. Polamautta with a blind side. Turns Gillies back inside. Stands and unloads to Ben Gillies. Nice support play from the brothers. Now 25 out from the Cowboys line. Comes through Newton. Dimick. Timu. Can't get on the outside but can offload. Jason Williams away from Solomon. And they come again, the Cowboys, and they've used up 5 tackles, the Bulldogs. Dimick the man calling the shots in close now that Lamb is off the field. The high ball, pressure on Gibson, and he takes it nicely. And we come back to the 20 for the restart. Terry Lamb, who made his way from the field just moments ago, is now with Gary Belcher on the sideline.
Terry, it's cooled down somewhat from what we heard it was going to be like earlier in the week, but it's still pretty warm out there.
Yes, we come up here yesterday and we trained yesterday, and I couldn't, the heat was unbearable, and today it's cooled down a little bit. Thank God for our men.
So you think it's 12 on 12 has helped the Bulldogs?
Well, we haven't really controlled the game. There's been a fair bit of drop ball out there. I think we're a better team than this, but I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys. They really stuck it in us too, and they're trying their heart out. Marty Bell's playing well as well.
Yeah, they're still putting up a good showing, aren't they?
Yeah, mate, they've got a lot of learning to do, and that'll come over the years.
Well, good luck. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Paige.
Tell you what, the Cowboys would give half of Townsville for a player like Terry Lamb, as this is Ben Gillies away to Newton, then to Dallas. Will they get another try? He's crawling his way towards the try line. Only a metre out from the line. Simon Gillies away to Polamautta, then to Dimick. Short pass brings McCracken into the play. 10 metres out, he's taken to ground. And again, it's the last tackle, but it's on the left side here for the Doggies. Dimick away to Jason Williams. The unload to Halligan, he calls it forward. So the changeover.
Oh, there's a try in there for all your money, but the last pass has gone forward. Once again, it's a case of a winger not getting back and giving himself some room. Halligan right in line with Dimick, and the pass went forward.
John Scarden caught in no man's land there on the wing. He didn't stay on Halligan. That enabled Williams to get the pass away. Luckily for them, it was a forward pass.
One of the rare let-offs of the night for the Cowboys. Now they run the ball away. This is Spina. Impressive opening. He's been a little quiet after the half-time break. Groves was hit over the top by Ralph. Bartlett, it was in fact tackled just outside the 20 as Ian Russell. Again, Ralph goes in there for the tackle. His tackle counts right up there. Robert Ralph for the Doggies, up to 19, now up to 20 in fact. Second highest tackler for the night, as this time it's Grove standing in the tackle and flung to ground. It's 5 up for the Cowboys as pass away to Doonerman back from the blood bin. Jason Williams it is with the ball, 30 metres out, and only one man down there. It's Morganson, and good tackle from Willie Morganson. This crowd has stuck around for all the action tonight on opening night.
Another beauty from Morganson, getting involved a bit more in the game now. It's a good chase from him. Now, he caught it marker here if Canterbury go to sift the ball a little bit wider.
Simon Gillies away to Polomouta. Now it's on for the Bulldogs again. Some sharp ball playing work as Demick. That pass was knocked down as he looked to throw it back in field. He's going to rule the knock on against Jim Demick. It was almost palmed out of his grasp, and I think that's what Demick is pleading for there. The harassment in the tackle. And it just falls out from Jim Demick. So this scrum, 10 metres inside the Cowboys' half. And another strong game, all that you expect of Jim Demick. And the Cowboys win that scrum. Just short of halfway. Only got the one try on the board for the night, the Cowboys. Ian Gibson was the scorer of that try in the first half, and it was when they were down 12 against 13. They had the send-off of Jason Smith. There's Doonerman now with the ball. And that's a good tackle from John Timu. On Gibson, one-on-one, but Timu playing in the centres.
He's been solid tonight, Timu. He's obviously learning about the game, having a rugby union background, but he seems to be improving every game, and he'll be good for the Bulldogs.
And a good move from the Bulldogs coach Chris Anderson to put him in the centres. Matt Ryan, while he was out there, has got the height. Just to let him settle in a bit into this City Bulldog side.
And hasn't Jason Williams handled the fullback role brilliantly tonight? He's a great player, Jason Williams.
He's the only bloke that sidesteps himself, Paddy.
And now Bella. It was a bad blue by the Bulldogs, conceding a penalty on the last tackle. The Cowboys. 8 metres out from the line, it's Groves forward. He had the arms free, back to Christensen. The hooker burrows for the line, discarded. Just 2 metres short of the try line. It's desperation time now for the Bulldogs in defence. As Spina across it came to Doonerman. He holds the ball up and is wrapped up in the tackle by Polomouta. They lose the momentum just for a moment as Gailey are away from dummy half. He's able to stand and Whittington puts it down. We haven't had to say his name too much tonight. Andrew Whittington. Harry Belcher again on the sideline.
Well, a big cheer now for Martin Bella, who's just come off the field. He certainly earned his rest. The trainer came on a few moments ago and told him he could have an early mark, but he refused to come off until he made that last run and before he was replaced by Andrew Whittington.
Great work by Munster. He's been their best player tonight, the North Queensland Cowboys. Just the way he's hit the ball up, he's never given up, stuck to his task, and congratulations to him.
It's a little different from last year. He would have played the first 20 minutes at the Bulldogs and then been replaced. Well, tonight, the humidity, he's lasted for 65 minutes of the match. As the Bulldogs with it, 35 out from their own line. Polomouta. Mentioned that thigh so heavily bandaged. I just wonder whether he sustained an injury in the reserve grade match or it's just a precaution. There's Ben Gillies inside. It went past McCracken. Not sloppy play from the Bulldogs. They lead by 28 points to 10. That wasn't the flashiest of plays from the side that finished runners-up in 94 as Russell comes back in field. Predictable stuff from the number 12 for the Cowboys. Spina again. Cross it comes to Whittington. Now 45 metres out from the line as this is Christensen again. Nice ball that time to Spina, but no one in support of Laurie Spina when he was half through the gap.
He's been sharp, hasn't he, Christensen, when he's gone into dummy half and scooted out there. I think Dean Skiffeletti must have a bit of an injury, but he's certainly been good for the Cowboys.
Well, line ball is called from Doonerman. He caught it just as it hit the ground. Did he drop it? Yeah, that's a good decision. And how about that, the attendance tonight? 23,156. We said right at the top that they thought the capacity was 22,000, but they jammed into every nook and cranny of Stockland Stadium to see the first night of the Cowboys, and that's a tremendous figure. 23,156. Tell you what, Fatty, that's a ground record.
Yes, thanks, Scoop. They've been waiting a long time for this, the people of North Queensland, to have their own football team. They've got one now, the Cowboys, in the Winfield Cup. And they've driven from everywhere down here. There's buses loads of people. They've flown in, they've helicoptered in. All sorts of things have happened here. And it's been a good game of football for them, first up.
There's a group of supporters in the crowd that have made their way from Papua New Guinea to see the match.
By canoe.
It's a long trip. 6 months they've been planning, and 6 months in the water. There's Gibson with it now from that kick. It was a little too deep from Timu. This young fullback, he'll be better for the experience tonight. He's 19 years of age, and the Cowboys, now there's ground to be made, straight out of dummy half. He's a little ragged now, the Bulldogs' defensive line. This is good play from the Cowboys. 3 tackles, back to 5 metres inside their own half. Never played the ball, Scarden, but anyway, we continue. Doonerman, away it came to Boovang. Dallas up all over him, still able to unload to Doonerman. Polomouta with a tackle. And not into touch. Play on as Spina. Away the pass came to Groves. He straightens up the attack. Good run from Lee Groves. Some of these replacements doing a good job for the Cowboys. And the ball comes back now. It's still play on as Gibson straightening up the attack. He's tackled 40 metres out from the line. It's the last. Spina. Short ball pass to Doonerman. Then to Scarden. Morganson on his outside. He comes back in field. Back it comes to the big front rower, Whittington. Then it goes back to Halligan. Oh, Andrew Whittington picked up the call.
Yeah, good call there from Halligan. It was a good break there. Some enterprising play from the Cowboys. They've finally decided to throw the football around, but Canterbury back on the attack.
And it's turnaround for Dallas.
Oh, try time.
Over the halfway, Gibson chasing. Dallas is in overdrive for the Bulldogs try. Brett Dallas, 70-metre dash.
Well, there you go, eh? A shandy up a try for the North Queensland Cowboys. 4.5 seconds later, Brett Dallas touching down in the corner. Can't he run? Here's the near try. Have a look at this. Some good football. Good delayed pass there by Spina. Now, look at the cover coming over from Mighty Mitch Newton. Had a big game tonight. Andrew Whittington, any other player on the field scores that try, but he's a prop. He couldn't get there. And Halligan, he was the man on the spot to take the football. And one tackle later, Brett Dallas just flew down that touchline. He burned grass. Just watch him get around his opposite there. Poor attempt at tackle. Gailey didn't have the pace, and he knew from there just the legs, they are pumping.
They're too easy there for the Bulldogs. It's one good thing about them. Just attack straight from their own 22-metre line. It's a good pass. Gillies saw that it was on. A terrible attempt to tackle from Boovang, and that was shut the gate. Brett Dallas too quick. Look at the redhead go.
That just reminds me of someone about 10 years ago, and I'm just trying to think who.
Did you ever score a 70-metre try, Batman?
Michael Neal was quite a player. It's 8 metres in from touch, 21 metres out from the line. Another kick for Daryl Halligan. He's put on an exhibition tonight for the Cowboys, 6 from 6. It's a shootout as far as Daryl Halligan's concerned. He's for 7 from 7. Straight away out of the boxes, he'll become the leading point scorer just about. He's had a try disallowed, and he's missed one, Daryl Halligan. So we'll take a break. The Sydney Bulldogs leading the North Queensland Cowboys 32-10.
Replacement for Sydney Bulldogs.
The 12 DK on, number 11, Robert.
Back to Stockland Stadium. Cowboys with another restart. Dean Payet is back on the paddock. Tackled by Andrew Whittington just outside the 20-metre mark. 32 points to 10 the scoreline. I don't know whether the result would have been any different if we did have 13 on 13 throughout. It certainly made for some interesting exchanges in the first half. And some inspirational play from the Cowboys when they were down to 12 on 13. They came up with their only try of the night. The ball came across through Pay to Dimmick. That pass has come off the hand of Morganson, and it's play on for Scarden. And then he gets the wrestling match front on with Jason Williams, so no fullback at home just at the moment. One tackle down for the Cowboys, it's Morganson. Tackled that time by Timu. Christensen with a pass away. This is Lee Groves in 24. Tackled well by Daryl Halligan. This front on defence from the winger. Spina spread out on the left-hand side through Doonerman. Then away to Bartlett. Almost was able to slip that ball around the outside. Kraken over the top as Doonerman away to Whittington. He's got the message, Andrew Whittington, with Bella off the field. Now they come back to the right side. It's Doonerman with a little kick for the corner. And again, not a good one. In fact, the kicking throughout the night hasn't been good from the Cowboys, and that's one facet of play that they've only got themselves to blame.
Well, I can't believe for mine they haven't gone to the air. The fullbacks off. Every time that they have tried to chip into the in-goal area, it's been along the ground, and Brett Dallas beautifully read from him there.
Mitch Newton it is playing the ball just outside the 20. Short pass from Pay. Timu forward ball to Halligan. In fact, ruled deliberately forward from John Timu. In rugby, they would have let it go. Again, some words being exchanged amongst the combatants, but no doubt about the pass. Pay onto Timu and then forward 1.5 metre to Halligan. A sort of advantage in that penalty count. 10-4. As now Groves straight from the penalty. Has backed his way into Dean Pay. A couple of metres out from the line, the Cowboys looking for try number 2. Christensen through Doonerman. The play slows down when it got to Doonerman, and then Spooner takes the tackle. Well, Doonerman just hung onto the ball too long that time. Doonerman again out of dummy half. Takes a few steps before he unloads to Galia. And tackled 5 metres out by McCracken. Doonerman thinking about having a go himself. Then got the pass away as Buvang trying to creep his way over the line. It's right in front of him. Doonerman again to Spina. Then across it came to Christensen. The pass is knocked out of his arms. The Bulldogs come up with it. It's Gillies. And Halligan now with the ball over the 20. The Cowboys just struggling a little. Doonerman takes a few steps before he passes.
They've had some chances tonight, the North Queensland Cowboys, to get over the line, but they just lack the skill of, just not capable of making it over that try line. They made it once tonight, but it could have been 3 or 4 times. Spina's had a fine match. He's tried very hard. I might just ask Gary Belcher, where have you seen the difference tonight, Gary, between the two football teams?
Well, certainly around the middle of the ruck, Fatty. I think the Bulldogs' short passing game is just sensational there, and they've rolled on really well. They've quick play the balls, and I just don't think that the Cowboys have been able to keep up with that. And hence, when they go to the edges, when they've gone to the edges, they've just caught the Cowboys short.
Groves it is who'll play the ball for the Cowboys. Again, we mentioned 2 players sent from the field in that first half. Adrian Vowles for the Cowboys, and Jason Smith for the Bulldogs. So Smith was found guilty and suspended. It's still a price to pay out of the night for the runners-up from last year as Russell, that ball was knocked out. And the Cowboys go forward. Up to halfway, it's Buvang. So they're still giving it their all, the North Queensland Cowboys, as Doonerman away to Russell. There's numbers here on the right side, away to Bartlett, away from Halligan, then to Scarden, thinking about chipping over the top. Lobs the ball back inside to Doonerman, then the pass comes away. The Cowboys have the try, Lee Groves. Now, Fatty, will you give us a yodel? Please.
Oh, cock-a-doodle-doo for the Cowboys. They finally got a try. The Bulldogs' defence couldn't keep up with the ball movement, and Groves, he's gone pretty well since he's been on the football field. He and George Bartlett have been good players for the Cowboys in the second half. The ball comes loose there, and there's plenty of space out wide. Russell offloads. There's the initial bust through Buvang, and from here, the Bulldogs always caught short down this side. Russell involved again. That's a good ball. Only Halligan was out there. A bit of cover coming over now. And 2 players there. That's a good ball from Scarden, although it went on the ground. And Groves finished it off with a little fumbly-wumbly.
Yeah, good support play. They've had the better of the play the last 10 minutes, the Cowboys. Ian Russell offloading the football, the long ball. A good ball from Bartlett. I thought he's been their best in the second half. Scarden inside. And there's the big fella, Grove. I think he's been sensational in the second half. Gone forward well with the ball, hasn't given up, and deserved a try to him.
He certainly got involved, Lee Groves. The 24 for the Cowboys, the kick from Doonerman. And that is straight over the black dot. So another 2 for the Cowboys. The Bulldogs leading by 32 points to 16. And the Bulldogs, their work is almost done for the night. 2 competition points to start the year. And of the expansion clubs, they've all given it their best shot, but as yet haven't come up with a cash. The Warriors, the Crushers, and now the Cowboys. Can the Reds do it tomorrow against St George? You'll see the action on Nine's Wide World of Sports as the Cowboys with it inside their own 20. Can they finish with a try inside this final 3.5 minutes? This is Christensen. Skiffalidi hasn't played a whole lot of football in the pre-season, but from what I've seen tonight, Christensen's well ahead of him.
Well, Dean Skiffalidi is going to be valuable to any football team that he plays for. It's just that he hasn't played any football in the off-season. He had 3 major surgeries in the off-season, didn't play all last year, and Christensen's taken his chance. I'm sure he'll be in the side next week, but Dean Skiffalidi has to be there somewhere. He's a terrific player.
It is indeed Martin Bella looking to get the late call up. George Bartlett it is who'll come from the field, so Bella will come back on for the last 2.5 minutes. And the crowd lifts themselves again for Big Marty. Another one of the ground staff here at Stockland Stadium is Pollamouta from the scrum base. Got under the tackle of Galia, and then picked up by Doonerman. Is Pollamouta hurt or is he foxing? The bandaging's just a little too tight as Dean Pay now up to the 20. Got past one with a dummy. Ian Russell completes the tackle 12 metres out from the line. Well, the Bulldogs finish the night with a try as Pollamouta holds the pass up. Long ball for Dimmick. Then to Timu. Williams about to chime in. He's with it now. Then to Halligan. Fancy foot down the sideline and he takes the corner post with it. So no try. Back to the 20. The Cowboys will have possession. Halligan. That's 2 down for the second half.
It was tremendous play from the Bulldogs there to come in and make the extra man, well, Jason Williams.
Yeah, it was good play by the Bulldogs. I thought he might have got that football down then.
The only thing I could find is that he maybe put his foot on the sideline before the corner post, but that's not what the linesman was ruling.
Before he even got the football, he put his foot on the sideline.
It's worth another look at. There's been another 4 points for Daryl Halligan.
I mean, it could be quite important. Now, his foot's out there, so no, the linesman's right.
But it's not what the linesman's ruled, that's the thing.
No, but he's out anyway.
Let's give him a wrap anyway.
It was on footy tab.
That's it, but Paul.
On footy tab, the Cowboys are getting 19.5.
Jeez. That's knocked out a few players.
So they're in front.
The Cowboys, 12 metres inside their own half. Last tackle, Russell. It goes straight into the arms of Pollamouta. And chance now for the Doggies as Pollamouta away from Russell. And wrapped up in the tackle. 25 metres out from the line. Inside the final 30 seconds, it's Dean Pay. He stands in the tackle. Good ball away. Jason Williams, who was knocked out, almost an intercept for the Cowboys. A knock-on ruled against the Cowboys, even though they never got control of the football.
And it should have really been play on if a City Bulldog could have got it, but that's the end of the match.
It won't matter in any case. The hooter sounds. 80 minutes of football, North Queensland style at Stockland Stadium. The supporters have enjoyed their night, but the Sydney Bulldogs get the cash. 32 points to 16 the scoreline. Martin Bella, one of the, well, definitely the best player for the Cowboys this evening.